So it's week 17 after our house fire. Again, this is, I guess, a video series where we're trying to document what progress might look like after you have a house fire. So we're 4 months and a week in, and I figured I'd take you outside for a portion of this video. So this is sort of the area, not sort of the area, this is the area where the fire started. We had a wood deck here, so there was a wood deck here and a metal chimenea, this metal little chimney that we had that sat in the back deck, and sort of during COVID it was really handy because we'd send the kids outside on warmer days and have an opportunity to have the kids outside and sort of study next to a fire. And that was really charming and kind of fun experience for them. That's where the fire started. That would have happened on June 6th of this year. We're now on, October 15th, 2021. The roof is on, and that gives us a bit of a sigh of relief. The expectation sort of really early on was that we'd have the house all buttoned up and done by Thanksgiving. Of course, that was stupid. You can't possibly get a house rebuilt in that amount of time. That is unrealistic and not fair to the building world. But we've, of course, readjusted. We readjusted our expectations shortly after the fire happened. This is the kitchen space. That's the laundry room in the distance, and the spare bathroom in the far distance. We quickly readjusted our expectations probably 2 weeks in and realized, no, it's going to be March or April of 2022 before we move back into our house. So here's the laundry room space. The garage, of course, it's going to be another 2.5 weeks before our builders are back on site. There's a lot of reconfiguring of walls. We're moving a couple of walls around. There's just a lot of internal reworking of the structure that we want to have done prior to the drywall going back in. They'll be here and then of course the framers will be here for probably 2 weeks at least after that reframing of the interior walls, doing windows, siding, trim work, etc., etc. Roof is on, so I wanted to show you that. Man, it feels good to have a roof back on the house. It's a bit of an emotional experience. These jacks here, these roof jacks here will be for our patio cover. We're going to have a concrete patio when we're done. The two sun tubes are there. 2 skylights that we originally have are back in place. In the dining room space, we chose to, instead of a solar tube, we chose to install a skylight there, and then there's a skylight in the distance where what will be our master bathroom will be. We also discovered, we knew this already, but there was a fairly substantial sag at the area above the garage. So whatever ham-fisted moron decided to build this structure above this garage in the early 80s didn't address the fact that the structure below couldn't hold an additional couple tons of weight. So the header at the garage door sagged, and we had a sag sort of descending towards the the right front corner of the structure. So we had to install a new header above the theater room window, and there'll be a new header above the header in the garage to correct for sag there. So there's maybe a little more exhaustive explanation of where the fire started. And again, I wanted to show folks what the exterior space looked like from the perspective where the house burnt. The phone company and cable company had yet to come by and correct their wiring. It's pretty much a hot mess. Not a hot mess, that's a weird phrase to use. Theirs are in pretty poor condition now. So next steps will be siding the exterior, reframing the interior walls, and then siding the exterior. While the siding's happening, the plumbers and electricians can be here doing their work. What a relief to have the roof back on. This is such a relief to have the roof on. Anyhow, if you have any questions for me, I mean, I'm no expert on these things. I'm just a guy who experienced. I'm a dad of a family of 5 who experienced a house fire, and if I can be of assistance to anybody, I know a lot of people say that kind of thing, but if I can be of assistance to anybody who's going through something similar, it's meaningful to have just the idea that someone else might lean on us for expertise. And again, not that we're experts, but we've lived through it, and it can be scary. So this is what your life might look like if you approach your rebuilding process similarly after 17 weeks. My name is Eric, and this is Still My House.